My name is Good evening, everyone. My name is Rita Ibie. I'm a software tester, ISTQB certified. Tonight I'll be taking us through on software testing, just a brief overview of what software testing entails, an introduction into software testing. Next slide, please. So what is software testing? Software testing is a crucial part of software development and life cycle. So this process helps ensure the delivery of high quality and reliability, user-friendly software. So as you can see on my screen, it says software testing is the process of systematically evaluating a software application to ensure it functions as expected and meets user requirements. It involves executing the software with the aim of finding errors, gaps, or missing requirements compared to the actual design of or functionality. So te testers test software to ensure its quality, security, reliability, and usability. Our work as testers is to help prevent bugs and improve performance and align the products for user and business needs. So by doing so, testers will play critical role in delivering software that meets expectation, maintain user trust, and achieve business growth. So in the course of this, I will try and use human life cycle analogy to help us understand, to have a good grasp of what software testing is. And I'll continue by reading what is also on the screen, which says, by testing software, developers and testers aim to catch bugs early, which is what I've just said, which helps us to reduce risk as well and ensure the overall quality of the application before it is released to end users. Next slide, please. So why is software testing important? Why do we have to test? As you can see, even from the slide on the screen, if you can put it on the chart, what do you think? What can you see? Can you detect any bug from this slide? Can you differentiate? Can you spot the difference? Let me put it that way. Seeing as we don't know what a bug is yet. But why is software testing important? Now, taking it back to human life cycle, let me use baby, for instance. As a mother, before you feed your baby, you need to ensure that the temperature of the food is right for the baby. Imagine if, as a mother, you do not test that temperature before feeding the baby with the food. What do you think will happen? You will scratch that baby. Now, bringing it back to life cycle. When we don't find bugs, what do you think happens? So why is software testing important? Which helps us to talk about these three out of I'm just there's obviously more than these three that I've itemized here. But we're just going to talk on these three for today. We have early bug detection, quality assurance, and risk mitigation. So a system needs to be tested adequately to avoid software failure with different approach of testing. There are different ways we can do this. We're not going to go into that tonight, but so for early bug detection, we have to identify and fix these bugs. Catching bugs early reduces the cost and effort required to fix them later. Because in the case of you not catching this bug early and you leave it to deployment, it can be very, very cost effective. So it is generally more expensive and time consuming to address issues after the software has been deployed. So that's why we say early bug detection is important. So whereby testing is being done early in the development life cycle, it helps prevent errors or problems in the future during deployment and all the rest. In the same way of quality assurance, it ensures quality and reliability when we test. It will help us to like in the case of, let me use this human analogy, say for instance, you go to McDonald's, you want to order Mac, Big Mac, for instance, and you are using the McDonald's self-checkout screen. You click on Big Mac, and then the end results. When you click on Big Mac, you are obviously expecting a Big Mac, but then you are being given something else. Say, for instance, you were being given a wrap. So by the time this is now common, each time you go to McDonald's, the trust is being breached already. So you then say, oh, you know what, I would not go to McDonald's again because they are not reliable. Each time I click on Big Mac, I get something else. So this is the reason why we also test for quality assurance, and then to also verify the functionality. All these are all under quality assurance, as well as enhancing the security and increase customer satisfaction. And this helps reduce development costs, like I earlier said. And another thing is also risk mitigation. So risk mitigation in software testing refers to um, identifying and assessing and reducing potential risk that could negatively impact software quality and functionality, or in terms, or even security, or even the performance, like I just explained. So the goal is to minimize the chances of software failure. That's the reason why we test, to ensure smooth deployment. That's the reason why we test. And the key steps in risk mitigation is one, in risk mitigation, you identify risk, whereby you analyze the project's requirements, you identify any potential risk. So you kind of, when in the case of whereby there's analyzing the requirement that is being given, you think about, you try and identify any potential risk, even in the past issues, maybe from previous development that was done from previous projects or things like that. Technical risk as well during integration. Maybe there were integration failures, things like that. And then we also have project risks, resource constraints and things like that, as well as operational risks, which falls under performance bottlenecks or in scalability issues. There's also risk assessment. When we talk about risk mitigation, under risk assessment, this is whereby the process whereby you prioritize the risk, high, medium, low. So all this it's a whole topic on its own. I'm just trying to give us an overview of why we test. There's a whole lot of reason why we should test, the importance of it, because testers plays pivotal role in software development life cycle, because we are like the end, we we are like the users. So we stand in the gap of the users. A situation whereby a software has been developed, there's no way it will be bug free. And as testers, I mean, like ordinary person that is not a tester can come in and look at a software application and will not be able to identify any bugs, right? But as testers, we know that, okay, even like with what I've just said, with what is on my screen right now, you should be able to. I mean, this is just like a minor one anyway, because it's not affecting, it's not a showstopper, it's not a blocker. But in itself, this can be classified like a cosmetic bug. Say, for instance, this is supposed to be like an advertisement for like a technical whatever thing, and then you imagine the fonts are not aligning, the early bug detection is not in bold, whereas all others are in bold, and things like that. So you want everything to be well structured. So these are all the things you look at for. As minute as it can be, it can you can't overlook any bug in a software development life cycle. And yeah, so for continuous monitoring and review as well is essential when it comes to the reason why we test. Next slide, please. So what does software testing entails? So first of all, we have the requirement analysis, which is what I've touched on. Uh, this is the process whereby we gather the requirements, understand. This also involves the BAs and the likes, and we evaluate the functional and the non-functional requirements to ensure clarity. It also helps us to identify any ambiguities, inconsistencies, and missing details early in a project, you know. And then we also have test planning. Test planning, more or less like you have your test plan. This is an overview that will tell you all what the project will be covering, or what it entails, what needs to be done, and the likes. Then we also have test cases, which I'll be talking more as we move on quickly. Then we have text execution, which will practicalize test case and test execution tonight. And we also have defect reporting. So when you find a bug, you have to report it. You don't keep it. You don't keep it to yourself. You have to report that bug. That's the whole essence of it. So defect reporting is a process of documenting and tracking software bugs, including details like steps to reproduce in your defect reports with screenshots or defect tracking tools to ensure timely resolution. This will help the developers to be able to reproduce those steps to replicate whatever bugs that you have identified. And then we also have retesting and regression testing. So retesting is the process of executing a previously failed test case. So a situation whereby a bug has been raised or identified. So when it's fixed, it has to be retested, you know, to verify that the issue has been fixed. And then we now go to regression testing. So testing is the process of rerunning previously executed test cases to ensure that the recent code changes have not introduced new defects or broken existing functionalities. So these are all part of testing. So that will be treated in the course of this program. And then we have test closure. Test closure is the final phase of the testing life cycle, where testing activities are reviewed, you know, results are documented, test reports are prepared, and lessons learned and analyzed to ensure all objectives are met before the project is completed. Next slide, please. So we say, who can be a software tester? So I said, ideally, anyone can be a software tester, which takes us to the next slide. Next slide, please. Yes, yeah. So one, we have passion and attitude. So for a software tester, you need to have these soft skills. So these are the things you need to bring with you. You should have these soft skills. These are not, I mean, you can adapt them, you can cultivate them. So you have to be passionate. When I said passion and attitude. So passion in software testing refers to a deep enthusiasm and commitment to ensuring software quality. You have to be passionate, like as I said earlier. A passionate tester go beyond just executing test cases, you know. You have to be curious, proactive, continuously seeking improvements. And how do you show passion? Very importantly, you have to actively participate. I cannot emphasize on this, like you have to be actively participating in everything. You have to be hungry for it. You have to be ready for it, you know. You need to learn new tools, you know, and techniques to improve efficiency and share knowledge with your peers and ask insightful questions To be honest, you have to ask questions. That's one way of learning. I know there are some people that are big, like not lay back. I mean, they don't want to talk, maybe introvert, whatever. Yeah, but it's good to ask questions. Don't wait for others to ask. And to be honest, no question is stupid or foolish or whatever. Yeah, put it out there. What if you are not clear, always ask questions. I ask questions a lot, no matter how stupid anyone might think the question is. I put it out there. And to be honest, you find that a lot of people also want to ask that question, but nobody wants to come forward. That's always the problem. So, but for your own self, like Laomi would say, life is per head. Do ask questions, please. And think like an end user. You have to put yourself into those shoes. You have to see yourself as an end user. You have to put yourself in that perspective in order to be able to be an effective tester. You have to have that problem solving mindset, suggest solutions. You have to be resilient, accept feedback constructively, and above all, you have to remain motivated despite any challenges, because trust me, there are going to be challenges. And the second one, I'll touch on it quickly. It's verbal and written communication, which is self-explanatory. So effective communication clearly conveys defects, risk, text, results to the team, especially to the devs. Collaboration, good team bond. As testers, you have to know how to process a clear documentation, explain bugs to um, developers. It has to be concise, detailed, test report, structured, you know, a structured bug report. So, and you have to develop verbal communication skills to explain testing concepts in simple terms. You have to, because there are some terminologies which I will try not to use too much of it, so that, and if I say something that you feel you don't understand what it is, quickly Google it. That will help you to improve. It will stick with you. The more you do that, it will help you to assimilate things quicker. And moving on quickly, we have the analytical skills, which is analytical thinking. Testers must analyze software behavior to identify hidden defects. This helps us to find the root cause, analyze and risk assessment, enable creative test case design to uncover edge cases. And it helps us to develop critical thinking by questioning assumption in test cases is a no. Also, learn from past testing failures and successes. We also have keen eye for detail. Keen eye for detail, attention to detail. Small bug can lead to a major system, which is what I said earlier. As minute as you can think of, you just have to report it. They might say, okay, it's of low level, but that doesn't mean it will not be dealt with. This is where they prioritize bugs. And you have accuracy in test case execution and documentation also helps us to have an effective test case. Sorry, I'm being distracted by a phone call. And then always double check your test cases and reports for completeness, and focus on positive and negative testing. During all this, and stay organized with structured test plans as well. Then the last one, which is time management. Deadlines are tight in agile and CI/CD environments, so be aware of that. So testers need to balance multiple tasks efficiently. And like as I said, you also have to prioritize test cases based on risk and impact. So this will also help you to manage your time effectively and make sure as a tester you are following a structured text plan to be able to execute your test cases effectively. Next slide, please. So the next slide, yeah, thank you. The next slide, which is for your technical skills that is required. All this will be taught in here. I haven't come with the soft skills. For the technical skills, you will acquire those in here. So one of them is you have to be computer literate, as basic as it can be. So the ability to be able to effectively use computer, efficiently, and software and digital technology to perform various tasks. That's how. So the basic skill can be as easy as basic as typing and be able to navigate across, web browsers or applications, and manage files and folders. Even my folders are still it's like my wardrobe. So if you can manage your files and folders, that would be good. I am guilty of that. Some of my files and folders are a bit all over the place. Even when I've arranged them, sometimes I still find some of them somewhere. I'll say, okay, I'll come back to that. But it's a good practice to be able to do that effectively. And then secondly, design test cases. So this is one of the most critical part of a software testing, because it ensures that you have to ensure that software meets the requirements and functions correctly in your test case. So you have to have a well-structured test case, because this will help you to um, detect early bug and improve your software quality as well. Then three, we have a test plan. That's a whole topic on its own. So as a tester, you have to have a detailed document that outlines your testing strategy, your objective scope, resources, schedules, and test environment and deliverables for a software testing project in order to ensure quality and defect-free software. So all these are essential. Why you also have the manual testing. For the manual testing, that will be taught in here. This is basically how to carry out a manual testing by writing a concise and clear test case, and to effectively execute those test cases, as well as automation. This automation is also another level of testing. This speeds up testing and increase efficiency, reduces repetitive manual effort to some extent in regression and performance testing. Next slide, please. So quickly, tools that are used by software testers. So we have Excel, which we'll be looking into that tonight, and Azure DevOps. Then we also, but BlueSky uses Azure DevOps, which is one of the most expensive one and the most effective one of all the management tools. You also have Jira, Confluence, and then C# Java. These are used for your automation testing. You also have SQL, which is another kind of testing API, as well as Playwright, Cypress, and Teams for communication. Next slide, please. So where can I work as a software tester? As a software tester, you can work in gaming industries, government and defense, e-commerce, retail, healthcare industries. To be honest, it doesn't end here. You can really work anywhere. Like as I said earlier, uh, once a software, an application has been developed, it has to be tested. So we are very, very important. Testers are important in all organizations. We are highly required, because any development that goes through any application that goes through development without being tested is I can't imagine it. So testers are always required in all organizations, as long as that organization is operating on technology. Except if they have nothing to do with technology, then a tester is not required. In any organization that have a developer, then you must have a tester, because anything that needs to be developed has to be tested alongside. So we are highly required, and we are very important. So in the course of this internship or section, or I don't know what to call it now, you learn more about the importance of testers, what we do, because we kind of have the final say at the end of everything. Because say, for instance, an application has been developed, and as a tester, you are saying to them, you found a bug, and they are trying to say, oh, you know what, don't worry about the bug, this is that. You can tell them, no, you are not ready to sign off that application for deployment. So if they want you to sign it off, they have to put down their own signature to say, yes, I'm approving this to sign off. So when it backfires, it will not come back on you. So that's how important we are. We kind of hold a very pivotal role when it comes to software development life cycle. Next slide quickly, please. For the average software tester salary in the UK, so this evening I got this screenshot from Reed this evening. So the average we are looking at right now is 64 to 80, and that's just like, as you can see, the low part is 57, so, and it goes up to 71. It can also go higher than that. So if you go to the next slide, I think I have the place where it says, so as you can see, this is saying your location can also make, add to your salary, or the location of the job rather, or your location. So I think you can earn more depending on where you are and depending on organization as well. I think this does not apply to all organization, and it also depends because you could be working remotely and still be earning less. But yeah, so that's how yeah, the average salary for now for testing. Next slide, please. I think that should be it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rita. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Damisola. Yeah, good evening all. My name is Rexford, and I am a certified QA engineer and a mentor here in BlueSky Citadel. And tonight I am very honored to share my journey with you all, from how I started from here in BlueSky Citadel to the professional world. And I just want to say welcome to everybody on the call, because we are about to embark on a journey that is not only educational, but it's also life challenging. And I hope that my journey will provide some, inspirations to you all. So yeah, it all started, a few years ago when I joined this platform. Prior to joining this platform, I used to work in building and facility management. So I got to know how I joined BlueSky through a friend who, told me about all the amazing things that, goes on or happens here in BlueSky Citadel. So when I joined, I was excited, I was nervous, and I was full of curiosity because of how intense the program was. But I can confidently say that looking back now, every opportunity I seized during the internship played a very crucial role in shaping who I am today. Every experience here on the platform enriched my knowledge and, my perspectives. So I would say you guys should, everyone on the call today who will be joining BlueSky Citadel should embrace every opportunity. Of course, my journey was not without challenges. There were moments of self-doubt and uncertainty, but I learned how to persevere and to seek help when needed. One thing about BlueSky, there is help everywhere. Like, your mentors will be coming after you to help you. So make good use of this help, like make good use of what you have here on the platform. Don't feel shy to ask when you need any help. Just go to your mentors, go to your buddies. And I think, to me personally, that's one thing that makes BlueSky, stands out for me. When I joined the platform, one thing that also helped was making meaningful connections. So one of the most rewarding aspects here in BlueSky is the connections. The connections I made with my teammates during the internship, the tutors and the mentors. These relationships help provide, invaluable support, guidance, and opportunities. And one thing you have to remember is that the people around you can be your greatest source of strength. When I joined the platform as well, I was overwhelmed with everything that happened here. from the artifacts that are being provided to us, from just like I mentioned, the help that you get from the mentors, the skills that you get here. So obviously you are kind of like in an internship learning, but at the same time, you are gaining work experience and you have the opportunity to also work with other team members, like because you are working in an agile environment, you have the opportunity to work with the Scrum Master, you have the opportunity to work with the business analyst, you have the opportunity to learn with the developers. You kind of gain all these insights, you kind of gain all this knowledge. And one thing that also kind of like moved me or kind of made me feel at home, made me know that BlueSky is the place to be was we do have like pastoral care meetings we have sometimes, which is sometimes it's not all about learning, it's not all about the program, but also your well-being, your mental health, well-being, and stuff like that. And that's one of the things that also I think I find it very great on this platform. Yeah, so throughout the internship, there was help everywhere and I gained valuable knowledge. So after the internship, transition to the real world, I can't emphasize on it enough because the skills and the qualities you are nurturing here will serve beyond these walls. You might want sometimes some of the question people ask is, oh, is the knowledge I'm going to gain here enough to land me a job? Is the knowledge I'm going to acquire here enough to prepare me for the professional world? But trust me, what you learn here is beyond these words. It will prepare you, and when you get out there, you will know that like you acquired a lot. You know that you got is worth more than even how much like you're gonna pay for. So yeah, when I was like after the internship, I leveraged, the support of my mentors. Before after the internship, I had mentors who took me through interview preps. I had some that I stayed up late, overnight, like every day. You have someone who will take you through like interview preps. They'll prep you for the interview. They will give you the necessary knowledge you need for the interview. I did have a few interviews, and I think after my second interview, I landed my first job. Yeah. So with all the knowledge, I'm not gonna say a whole lot of things, but all what I want to say is that BlueSky is a place to be. You have the right people, you have the right connection, you are going to get the right tools, you are going to get the knowledge you need that will prepare you for the outside world. So yeah, finally, all what I want to say is you have to believe in yourself. It's not gonna be an easy ride, but keep pushing. You have everything you need, and yep, I welcome you guys all on the to this place. And even you being here, I'm gonna say congratulations. Yeah, thank you, Damisola.
Thank you very much, Rexford, for sharing your testimony with us. I hope that for everyone on the call, that you have, at the very least, picked up on something that would encourage you to continue and to persevere throughout this 4-week free training. Yes, that was, and once again, thanks, Rexford, for sharing that. So now back to the final bit of our meeting tonight, which would be the practical hands-on session, again led by the wonderful Rita. So just checking very quickly if Rita, yes, you're still here. Okay, thanks.
Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen quickly. So tonight, hold on, I do that. Okay. Good evening. Welcome back. So tonight I'm just going to take us briefly on what happens on day to day in the office as a tester, what you do. So this is like this is a workshop, but at the same time, it's basically what happens, your life as a tester at work. So this is the board. This is the Azure board. I don't think there's a free session. I doubt it. I'm privileged to have this because I'm in the advanced class as well. Because to be honest, IT, you just have to keep learning. So that's why I'm still here. If you're wondering, oh, she's got a job, why is she still here? Yeah, because I want to keep advancing. So that's one of the benefits of BlueSky. So this is the Azure board. Like as I said earlier, I don't think you can download it. This has been given to us from the BlueSky. So this is one of the management tools that you will come across as a tester, depending on the organization. Some uses Jira, some uses Confluence. But not because I've been using Azure, but I think it's the best. Where I am, we are not using Azure, but trust me, Azure is the best because you basically can do everything in here as your management tool compared to the rest. And that's why it's pricey. So for your board, it will be set up by your Scrum Master, depending on the organization again. And so all you just have to do as a tester, as a QA, is to, in the morning after your daily Scrum, which I think most of you were in the, what's it called, Scrum Masters lecture training. And it will be good to attend all of them. You'll be able to process what we are talking about, and it will make more sense to you because we all work together as a team. That's the whole development team. So it's the same thing when you get to your company, to your a place of work. You will also meet other team members, your Scrum Masters, or maybe Scrum Master. Most cases, there are only one Scrum Master, and maybe project manager, and then you have your BAs. So you will have the board like this set up for you already. And most times maybe the PBIs, we call it PBI, which is your product product backlog, yeah, is still in dev done. You move it to the in QA, but here it's already in QA. So and then before that, you can go to your sprint board. The reason why I'm not starting from the sprint board is because this is the sprint board. You create your task. So basically what you do here is just click here and then put your name and say manual. And then once that is done, it would reflect on the board that you've created a task. But because I don't have that particular this particular PBI there, so I'm just going to create the task here. So to create the task, you click on this. Can you see my board? Okay, yeah. So, and then you click on add task, and then say, for instance, I already have QA manual. I'm just going to, the title is real-time video view control, view count. So I can just say, I know Mr. Digi don't like using this word, but I'm just going to use that for now. Verify the, what did I call it? The view count. Mind you, we use camel casing, which is you start every word with your uppercase, and then you click out. So you see, I've created that. Now, to create your test plan. But first of all, this is what you're looking at. So this will be written for you already by the BAs. So this is your acceptance criteria. So what we are testing today is real-time video view count. Let me see if the description is there. So the description is saying, as a user of the ReadTube website, I want the number of views displayed on each video to be real-time so that accurate and up-to-date information is maintained. So this is your acceptance criteria, which is telling you that this is the scenario that they are looking at. Scenario 1 says real-time video view count, given I am a user of ReadTube website. So before this is created, there's a ceremony in Agile that is called refinement. So this is where you people will talk about this particular PBI, and then you will have the opportunity to ask questions and things like that. This will be demoed to us, I think, in the long run as we move on, and then you'll have more. You'll be able to understand what I'm saying now, but just listen. It will all make sense to you as we move on. So this is the scenario. So we have 3 scenarios here, but we're just going to deal with this one. So these have already been treated in a backlog refinement. They've the BAs and the QAs have had a session, including the Scrum Master. So they've gone through this and it's all right. So I, as a tester now, I want to test this. So going back, I would then so I will click on these 3 eclipses, yeah, and say add tests. So now I think if you have the free version, which I don't know if there's even a free version, you will not have all this. You might have to pay for it. Everything about Azure is payment anyway. That's why I said it's expensive. So add test, and then I will give it a title. Don't forget the first one was add task. Yeah. So this second one now is add text. So this is where I will design my test cases. So in what it is basically is I'm writing my test cases, but the buzzword for it is design. You don't say write. You say I'm designing my test cases. So be mindful of that when you go for interview. So now I'm just gonna say for my title, your title needs to be meaningful, and just don't use one word. Like somebody can see the title and understand what you want to do. That's very, very important. So I'll say I want to verify, so I'll just say verify or validate the view countdown, the view count. Yeah, and then I'll click out. So that is saved. Now I will then open it up.
Please, can you zoom the screen? Can hardly see what is written on the screen.
Better? Okay. Okay, to write my test case, sorry. Be able to write test case. Damisela, can you pause the recording, please? Okay, so just quickly, because our time is fast spent now. Yeah, so I was just duplicated the screen in order to have them side by side because I'm going to be copying the first scenario into this bit and then put in my expected result just to basically show you how we design test cases. I don't know if my Oga will allow me to. Oh God, what? Okay. Okay, I think I touched on the. Even I am a user of the ReadTube websites. So my expected result will be I don't know, should I make this interactive? Okay, I'll just do it. So I can say website displayed. I'll try and make it as low level as it can be. Website displayed. And then second step is and I can let me see, let me just use this. Okay. Huh? What did I do? And then my expected result is that when I can see various educational content, so it should be visible. So I'll say various educational content is visible. And then step 3 says when I navigate to the video, so my expected result will be that I'm able to see the video, so I can say video content page is displayed, something like that. It can be anything, but you have to make sure that it's something that anybody that is not technical will be able to understand what you've written there. I'm using camera case all the way, but yeah, it's fine. Then I might stop here just for time's sake. Then I'll run the tests so that so we have what we call the prerequisites of testing given when then. So for this one, I'll say then I should see the view count of the video. view count is visible. Something like that. View count is visible. As expected. Let's see. Okay. So as you can see, we've written all our test cases. I'm just going to stop here for time's sake. So I'm saying, given I am a user of YouTube website, I'm expecting, this is my expected result. So that when I go to YouTube website, the website should be displayed, right? And that when I should be able to see all this educational video content, as the BA have said. So as a user, I'm expecting this content to be visible. Then when I navigate, I should be able to see all this. So I'm just gonna save and close, and then to run the test, let me close this. I can't. This Zoom is blocking me. Okay. Okay. So for me to run it, I think this is the one we did. Let me just double check. Yeah. Okay. This is the third one. So for me to run it, I'll click on these three eclipses. You see where it says run test. I'll then open it up, and then you get this pop-up. Yeah, this only happens on Azure. And alongside it, I'm going to open my website, which is this. This is my website. So I'm bringing my website there, and as well bringing this. Yeah. So this is all the test cases we've written. As you can see, my expected results are being displayed underneath the actual test case. So now what do we want to see? Given I am a user of the YouTube website, so this is the website. That means it's a pass. So this is manual. That is why it's called manual testing. You are doing it yourself. And for the second step, he said, I can see various educational channels. These are the educational channels. Yes, I can see them. In the case of where these things are, if they are in the case whereby this educational content is not visible, then it's a no-no. That means you will use this. But as visible as we can see it now, we use the green tick. Where I navigate to the video detail page, video content page is displayed. So now I want to click on any of this video. Prep major, for instance, is displayed. Yeah, so that is a yes. Yeah, then I should see the view count of the video. This is the view count of the video. As you can see, it says 401 views. Yeah. Let's close it again and go back and see if we open it up, if it will double up. So I think it was 400 before. When we clicked on it, it became 401. Okay, it's taking its time. Okay, let's try another video. This is 472. Okay, it's coming up. Oh, it was 410. And I had my glasses on. Okay, 410 views. So did it increase? If it did not increase, okay, let's try another one. This is saying 472, right? 472. It became 473. So it's a pass. Yeah. In a case whereby it did not pass, you will then create a bug. So with this, I can take a screenshot and then add it to Is the great
Yeah,
spreadsheet.
let's not go there for now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
yeah. So it's going to be a lot anyway. So
Yeah.
what I want you to do is to look into the spreadsheet part, right? If you can still have it within 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So that at least they can then use that spreadsheet. Yeah.
So moving
Thank you.
on, because you guys don't have the Azure, so I want you guys to create a task using Excel, which is much more easier. You don't have to navigate or do all those navigations that I did earlier because it's still fresh. So as you can see, I mean, you can do a declarative one. You can make it as high level as you want. I think there are other materials out there on YouTube channels that can help you. If you go into some of the past videos, you see some methods or different ways of doing this. So you can add more headings as you want, but I've made this as easy as so that anyone will be able to replicate it. So normally, with what we did earlier, these are the steps, and then my expected results are meant to go in here, and then the actual results is am I seeing, like in the case of what we just did now, the video was doubling up immediately I clicked on it, or it added up. So if it wasn't adding up, then my actual result would mean that it wasn't adding up. Then the field would then come here. But in the case of whereby if I click on register on this site, which is the prep major site, I would see all this. Then I don't know. We don't have to run this. Is it okay, sir? Or do you want me to fill this up?
No. I think no, we don't need the expected behavior anyway, so that's fine. So what I'm expecting you to do is to kind of copy. You only feed step one, so it have to be step one, step two, step three down, right? So and that should be it anyway. So we'll stop there and then yeah. So I think that should be fine. So yeah. So then yeah, you can give the tax anyway. So but maybe we should stop the recording. So